Okay, let's get started with week 3, question 2. We're given a whole bunch of information. Again, the best thing to do is set yourself up with a grid. I've given you a sample grid in the question, but you will not be given a grid like that on the test. So you'll have to come up with your own grid if you choose to solve the problem like this. I think it's the best way. Plug in the information that you know, solve for what you don't know, and you're off to the races. So in red, I'm going to plug in what I know. A buyer needs to average a 57% margin. So that means that the average margin on all coats is 57%. She has purchased 50 leather coats at a cost of $89 each. Multiply that by the number of units, which is 50, for a total cost of the coats of $44.50. The silk coats, on the other hand, cost her $114 each. There's 25 of them. Therefore, the total cost is $28.50. Those leather coats that she purchased, she plans to retail for $225 each. There are 50 of them, so again, we multiply by 50 for a total selling price on the coats of $11,250. Okay, so that's the information that we know in red. Now it's a matter of figuring out what the question is asking us. What is the average retail selling price per silk coat in order to achieve this margin goal of 57%? So this is what the question is asking us. We need to now fill in the blanks to try to figure out what the answer is. So first place we can go here is fill in the total cost of the coats, $44.50 plus $28.50. Total cost of $7,300. Now we can fill in our total margin on the coats right here by taking our margin, quickly flipping it into a markup. When you're given cost and margin, that's what we do. So a markup of margin of 57% is a markup of 132.56%. So to calculate your margin now, we know that markup is unit margin divided by variable cost. In this case, it is 1.3256. So we multiply our cost, we take that 7,300 and we plug it into our variable cost and multiply it by 1.3256, and we get a margin of 96.77. Now, some of you might have multiplied by 1.33, you might have rounded up, and that's okay. On the test, just show me your work. I don't care how you round. I'll give you your marks on the test. The only thing I'm thinking about here is that I want to stay consistent with the solution grid that you have online, the solution file, and we took the 2 decimals, 132.56. Okay, so you would have ended up with a little bit of a different answer if you had multiplied by 1.33 instead of 1.3256. Not a big deal on the test. I'm looking for process, not answer. Now we can calculate the total selling price at $16,977. So again, that's just the tally of your cost and your margin added together for $16,977. Working our way up here, we have to take this $16,977 and subtract $11,250 to give us the total selling price of $57.27 for the silk coats. The question wants us to give it to us in units. So we know that the total revenue on the silk coats is $57.27, but there's 25 of them. So per unit, we're looking at about $229.08 each. If you sell it for any less than $229, you will not achieve your overall margin goal of 57%. If you sell the coats for more than $229, then you'll exceed that margin goal, which is usually okay. We don't want to undershoot it though.